The question of the day.
Who is Deej?
We lost on a buzzer beater to advance to the championship. If I was 100%, we wouldn't have been in that position.
Who is Deej?
There were instances of bullying. I didn't know how to stand up for myself.
Who is Deej?
For those few months, it was me and my mom alone. I did take having a father with me for granted.
Who is Deej?
Doctors had to do rush surgery for me. Not only was I dying, but I was almost taken out of here. Who is
Welcome to the experience. Now loading in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Tough Talks with Deej, aka the TTD podcast. I'm your gracious and humble host, DJ Rodgers, and today we're doing something a little different. Y'all know usually I have a guest either to my left or to my right, but as y'all can see, nobody's home. So because nobody wanted to knock on the door, I decided to put myself in the hot seat and share all the juicy details as to my basketball journey, family shenanigans, and the passions that keep me going. The question of the day. Who is Deej? Some may know me for athletics. Some may know me for my humorous way. And others may know me for an assortment of reasons. But do you know Deej, the person? It's actually a question I've been asked a lot more recently now. It's still an answer that I believe is best answered by others and not myself because I find it difficult to put myself into a definition. I feel I'm too broad. There are too many things about myself, and it just makes it hard. But what I can do is I can take you on a journey to come up with an answer for yourself. So let's talk about it. Early life, childhood. I was born in Peoria. It's a small city. Some know it as Peoria. Some know it as P-Town, Peona. I've also gotten Ultimately, I wouldn't blame you if you don't know what Peoria is. Small, not so small city of about 100 to 250,000. It's about 90 minutes from Chicago, an hour from Springfield, 45 minutes from Bloomington, 45 minutes from Eureka, 20 minutes from Pekin. Let's just say if when the lights turn off, we can't see you, I wouldn't go there after dark. When I was a kid, Peoria was huge. I mean, Chicago was like its own state, but Peoria was big time to me. And that's not to say that I didn't travel as a kid. As a kid, I traveled to Florida. I traveled to Texas, Louisiana. I mean, the whole East Coast. Peoria was always home. Peoria is a city that's known for its grit, its grind. I feel like that's a mentality that is instilled in me and is a reason why I'm able to be the person that I am today. Life wasn't always so easy for me. My birthday was August 17, 2002. But for those of you who don't know, I was actually a preemie. I was a premature baby. My original due date, October the 10th, 4th. Mom, don't butcher me if I got that wrong. But bottom line, it was in October. It was a difficult time for me and my family because having that process moved up by almost 2 months, the doctors had to do a rush surgery for me. I had a symptom where I was being toxic in the womb to my mom. So not only was I dying, but she was dying as well. The doctors had to force me to come out. Going forward, After that, I believe I was in the hospital for about 3 to 6 weeks. Look, if I get any of these dates wrong, ask my mom. She can tell this story much better than I can. Look,
Yeah. It's only my third day out here. I don't know.
Going home, I got extremely sick and I had to get several surgeries. They were around my upper body area. My dad always described that as the moment he knew I was a soldier, the moment he knew I was a fighter, which is one of the reasons why he's said he's been so hard on me, because he saw even from that day what was inside of me. Coming back home after all my surgeries, I had amnesia. And then imagine that, all those memories temporarily being taken away from you. And then you have to now experience that all over again. My mom described it as a bittersweet moment because for her, it was adorable seeing me have that first day joy again. I mean, to be able to experience something the first time twice is an experience that is quite literally impossible, because once you've experienced it, you can never experience it again for the first time, no matter how great an experience it was. So to have me experience that, she said as a mother, it was adorable because she got to capture that again, but it was also heartbreaking. And this is when the personality of Deej the personality of DJ began to be constructed. My mom told me that she always knew I was going to be great. For one of many reasons, was because I challenged everything. As a kid, I always asked questions. I remember one time I was sitting in the car with my mom, fresh out of school, backseat, Happy Meal in hand. I mean, life is good with the toy. Yeah, my mama had McDonald's money. But it got onto the topic of me and her disagreeing. And she said, DJ, it's not like that. And I told her, is that a factor in opinion? And she said, oh, because she realized that even though she was my mom, I wasn't conforming to just her ideals. Because I was able to be an effective communicator, I learned how to have different dialogue with different people, right? So because of that, I would go from being at the playground with my friends or playing ball in the neighborhood, just being a kid, to take your kid to work day. I'm having 30-minute discussions with actual professors about sports or even about some of the things that they teach. So because I was doing that at such a young age, that bred the ability for me to be able to communicate that is still in effect now. I mean, what kid do you know is 4 or 5 years old having 30-minute discussions about astronauts and psychology 101 with college professors, and actually being able to hold his own in conversation? Part of the reason why I believe I was able to do that is because of my family. For those who don't know, I am an only child. It was always me, my mom, and my dad. We got close. Of course, you have your friends in the neighborhood and teammates, but actual siblings, that just wasn't in the cards for me. And I accepted that even at a very young age. So I believe I was able to become such an effective communicator because whatever I see my parents do, I'm following. My mother was a communications teacher, and she was an advertising major. She was an advertising manager. And my dad can talk. You ask him one question. You could ask him, hey, Derek, how's the weather today? He'll give you a 15-minute TED Talk, giving you more information than your daily weatherman on the news channel would do for you. Probably one of the reasons why I'm able to sit here and talk in front of a camera without looking silly. So that's not to say that I didn't have my moments of wanting more. We knew that when it came to peers, unless I'm inviting friends or family over, that it's pretty much just me in the house. So they experimented and they got me a dog. Old man Chubbs. Love that dog. That's my road dog. She was here for 15 good years. She fortunately passed on last year, September 27, 2023. But that was my dog, man. I still remember the first day we got her. My mom surprised me. I knew it was one of two things. I knew either I was getting a PS3 or I was getting a dog. And well, I was 50% from the field. Ask Curry, them good numbers. So we're driving. We go to this lady's house, and she had, I don't even have a word for it, but just conglomerate. There we go. Imagine a big conglomerate of dogs in one space. And she said, pick. I love my mama, but I wanted a boy dog. I wanted somebody I could play with, wrestle with all day. My mom said no. She said, it's two men in the house, one woman. I will no longer be outnumbered. So she went and picked up Diamond. It's actually funny. I picked up Diamond's brother. I said, Mommy, can I get two? She said, are you going to take care of two? Yeah, that shut me right up. I didn't want to feed it, teach it, train it, none of that. I just wanted to play. That was all me. So we pick her up. And I remember I picked her up. I was like, I got a whiff. Mommy, she stinks. My mom had to, because, we're trying to get the sale. We don't want to lose the dog. But once again, me questioning everything. So we got Diamond for like $50, I think. I remember we took her home that day, and we all sat in the circle around the house, and we just played with her. She kept rolling under and on the carpet, and she smelled so bad. We didn't bathe her that day, but we didn't care. We had a dog. The things that I remember most about her, because she truly was a good dog. She didn't always potty where she was supposed to, but she was a good dog. She was a good dog, and I miss her every day. But the love I have for her could never compare to the love I have for my parents. My dad's my hero. My mom is my counselor. When I look at those two, they're just a dynamic duo. Shaq, Kobe, Bron, D-Wade, PB&J, who else? I want to congratulate them on 30 years of marriage. Congratulations, Mom, Dad. I love y'all. Y'all deserve it. But no, they're my heroes. Me being an only child definitely plays a big part in that, because, like I said, I've been around them for all of my life. They are more than just parents to me. They're my best friends. They're people I cry with. They're people I laugh with. We're more than just a family. We legitimately have an inseparable bond. There's nothing that can come between us and ever separate that. In June of 2017, he was relocated for a job and moved from Peoria to Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, at this time, we were unsure about how things were going to play out. We didn't know if I was going to stay in Peoria, we didn't know if we were going to move. There were so many different moving pieces there. It was just me and my mom. It's human nature that we tend to take things for granted. And in that moment, I did take having a father with me for granted. I had mentors still in Peoria, my grandfather, my uncle, Sean, but there was a clear gap that they would never be able to fill because they're not my father. Most of my peers weren't fortunate enough to have a two-parent household. So our family was the model. Good home, good background, faith-based, parents married, especially in African-American household. Not many bat 1,000 like that. As unfortunate as it is, it's a rarity. So for me to compare, because a temporary relocation compares nothing to 18 plus years of not having a father. By no means am I comparing that. What I am saying is, now that I've matured, I'm grateful to have had that experience because I can now be empathetic to others because I've gone through a situation where my father was not around for an extended period. With school, I began struggling. So my mom knew he needs a fresh start. So she agreed to look for new jobs in North Carolina, and we packed up and we decided to make that transition to North Carolina. We packed up everything we could and put it into that 2014 Chevrolet Traverse. Packed up Chubbs, packed up my game, and ultimately I packed up years of memories that we had in that house. We got on the road. I'm still numb to everything. I'm excited. I'm not realizing the reality of the situation. My mom was a soldier. She made me feel so comfortable. So she's doing all that driving on her own. And she just kept a stern face, knowing she had to pack up her entire life and move in the span of 2 days. So those are the things that make our family so tight-knit, and why when people see us, they say something's different. That's what it is. We've been through so much. We came out as a family strong. Another reason why we were able to get through a lot of things was because of faith. For those that know me, I'm an extremely religious person. Extreme, and I've always been that way. Ever since I accepted Jesus into my heart, when I believed that he died on the cross and rose for our sins, and I believe that, I began seeing things in a different light. My grandfather built the church. It was Progress Church of God in Christ. And it's been a partner in several community outreach programs. It's partnered up with the Peoria County Urban League. It's partnered up with Quest Charter Academy and become somewhat of a staple in the Southside community. Now, my grandfather was the head pastor. My dad was the assistant pastor. My mom was the evangelist, lead singer. And then there's me, the drummer. Yes, I am a PK. So growing up, a lot of the ways that I went about things were considered foreign or unfamiliar to some, because simply that's how I was raised. Saying grace before cursing, not drinking, not smoke. Because my family was involved, so heavily involved in the church, that came with some expectations. As a young kid, you're gonna be bishop, you're gonna be pastor. Even to this day, I still get Pastor DJ. And while I appreciate people recognizing my religious stance on things, I do want to clear the air of that narrative, because I believe that my faith can be impacted, whether it's video editing and graphic design opportunities in the church, whether it's glorifying God's name on the court. There are several avenues and opportunities for me to make sure that Jesus' light shines without me having to stand up on a pulpit in a three-piece suit and Oxford shoes. And I'm trying to think of some other stereotypical church outfit, accessories. Can't think of any. Anyway, without having to specifically do that, I believe that my impact is just as effective. If the Lord tells me otherwise, I'll walk the path that he's already predestined for me.
Every step you took to get here, I paved the road. You just walked down it.
But until then, I simply just want to continue to be the person that the Lord has destined and wants me to be.